Hey everybody, it's your boy Zero here doing a new gunpla review. In today's episode, we are covering the Zaku 3 from, I believe it's Zeta Gundam. I'm pretty sure it's Zeta Gundam. It may have shown up in Double Zeta, but it first showed up in Zeta Gundam. This is the third stage of the Zaku evolution line, if you will. And I have to say, I prefer this version of the Zaku over the first two. Don't get me wrong, Zaku 1 will always have a special place in my heart. Its alternate use counterpart, aka the Zaku Warrior, it's always cool to me. But I don't know, the Zaku 3 just looks cooler. And I like the color scheme more, but that's just me. You know, everybody has their own favorite Mono Eye, if they like Mono Eyes. But this is up there for me. I got this at my local hobby store, so if you want one for yourself, please check your favorite stores. Check if our friends at Galactic Toys has one, pick up one for yourself. And let's get into the review of one of my favorite grunt suits. Though it does have some flaws, and I'm willing to acknowledge that. So let's get into the episode. Okay, this is the Zaku 3. I'm about to say Zaku Warrior, say what I mean. The Zaku 3 with everything that comes in box. You get a beam saber, which you have to paint, which I absolutely hate. So the blade is supposed to be blue. The handle is supposed to be... Okay, I willing to accept this is the handle color, but seriously, can you just got it? Just... No? Okay. It's like you couldn't fix this. You get... By all that's holy, unholy, and the technicolor rainbow that lies in between, we have not one, but two trigger hands. You have to understand why I'm so happy with this. Because almost all mobile suits only have one, which it never made sense to me. Ever. We have two holding hands, which again, makes sense. And surprisingly, a spare visor for the head. For the head sculpt. I don't know why. This came off the Sea Runner. I didn't nip this quite well enough, as you can clearly see. But yeah. Of course, you get this tiny sticker sheet. And they're both for the eye. You put down this sticker first, and then you put down the Mono Eye. The Mono Eye does not move, so whatever position you have it in, that's what it's going to be for the rest of its life. Which kind of sucks. I saw a video until I smacked the thing. So, as you can clearly see, here's the other beam saber. So you do get two of them, which is pretty neat. So you can have them dual wield. And you have a little beam bayonet attached to the end of your beam rifle. But let's be real. It's held in by a polycap piece. If you look at the box, you see this crazy build into it. And here they're like, we're going to phone it in by just attaching it via polycap. That's kind of lazy build. It's kind of lazy there, guys. Also, please note, you really can't bend the arm when you're holding the beam rifle, which absolutely sucks. So... let's slide out the hand. As you see, there is that bad seam line. Ugh. You do get ab crunch, which is pretty good. Another seam line, which sucks. So you may want to seal it up with glue. And that's as high as your stumpy little legs can go. Mostly because of the side skirt back there. That's the knee bend, by the way. You can see straight up the hollow parts of the leg, which kind of sucks, but hey, it's a high grade, what can you do? You cannot get the splits because, again, giant hard plastic side skirts. And that's the far as the leg goes backwards. But you gotta be careful because... that! And to reattach that, you have to quite literally pop off the leg. Take this piece, connect it right there. There you go. And then pop the leg back in. You do have the little beam rifle on the front skirt, the handle. So you have that, which I think is a pretty cool secret weapon. Like, they think you're de-armed, and next thing you know, you whip out the crotch gun, which is stupid, but also kind of funny. And technically, you're supposed to open the back of the hand, slide this in, sandwich style, but really, you don't have to. I say this and that, say what I mean? Ta-da. No sandwich style required, you just slide it in. There you go. Oh, that's all the way out. So you're not getting a lot of articulation out of this thing. You do get 360, but you can't really move the head down. And again, like I said, the mono-eye does not move. Be careful with the heat pipes on the skirt itself, because some people had it broke. Mine was bent. So you have to be careful with this. So, yeah. Articulation is pretty darn bad. But all in all, oh, hold on. And this part of the backpack moves. Both sides. Which I think is pretty cool. It's a solid piece, for the most part. The weapons will fall out if you angle the arms too low. So, that's never great. But, yeah. So, let's get to the summary and wrap up the review and call it a day. Okay. So, how does this compare to other Zakus? Well, personally, I think it looks better than the Zaku 1 and 2. But the Zaku 1 and 2 had better articulation. Not great. But based on the same generation of high grades, this has least articulation than the original Zaku 1 and 2. It is what it is. But it does it has a better aesthetic, but less positives, if you know what I mean. Like, again, look at the box art. You have this really cool effect with the beam saber bayonet thing, and here it's attached to the beam rifle with a polycap. They couldn't even be bothered to put like a plastic piece over it to give the illusion if it be one piece. Nope, it's like, here you go, piece of polycap, make it work. It's mostly solid, which is always good. You have to be careful with positioning the feet or the legs, or where your hand ends up, because you can pop out the verniers in the legs. They're not held in tightly, they're basically held in by friction. So one full stop, and pop out goes like the leg verniers, as you saw in the video. I hate the fact that you have to color the beam sabers. I hate this, I hate that, I hate that. I hate the fact that you can't move the mono-eye. I honest to God do. But, aside from those flaws, I love the aesthetic. It looks cool. I can see why, Neo Zeon was, competing with the Dovin Wolf, though, to be their, mass production suit. Because, yeah, this has flaws to it, and it is what it is. It looks cool, but unless you are a huge Zaku line fan, this is a decent miss. You can skip it, unless you're a completionist, like your boy here, who needed 1, 2, and 3. But if you really don't need it, don't. Yes, it was like $20, but still, save that $20 for better models. This isn't a pass, but this isn't a roaring endorsement of go ahead and buy this thing. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching. We've hit 280 at the time of recording. Well, we've hit it recently, but I didn't have a chance to address it. So I'm so excited. I can't believe we reached 280. I thought we would be like closer to like November when we hit that. But you guys keep proving me wrong. And I'm so glad for that. You guys are an amazing group of people. I'm glad to have you all in my life. You guys give me the strength to keep doing this week after week. With that being said, I have no idea what next week's episode is going to be about. Maybe I'll finally bust out one of the master grades I have been sitting on. Basically, the Curios from Gundam 00. That's literally been sitting there since Christmas. Sorry about the random pause. My phone was acting stupid and I needed to delete some stuff to make up space. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you want to support the channel, please use the links down below. That always helps me because it helps me directly. But if you want to help me on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let the sadistic maw, which is the slobbering maw, which is the kaiju beast, which is YouTube, acknowledge me. So maybe this week I'll start working on my entry for the World Championships. I don't know. Maybe I'll start on the Curios. Like I said, I have no idea. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching. All of you are amazing. All of you are great. Thanks for watching. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode. So, have a great day. Have a great week. And have a great life. Catch you guys later. Peace.